service of CNC Worldwide.
The Daily is a service of CNC News and Jib Jab Greetings. I'm Bud Lowell. The full AccuWeather forecast is right across the top of this and all CNC local news pages. After more than 4 hours of debate, Monroe County legislators approved the 2013 county budget Tuesday night by party line vote, 18 Republicans for, all 11 members of the Democratic Party minority against. The county lawmakers were unanimous hours later, not on the budget, but on approval of a $28 million bonding agreement that will let Monroe Community College move forward with a new downtown campus. First, the budget. County Executive Maggie Brooks is the first to top $1 billion for a county budget, but it holds the property tax rate flat at $8.99 per thousand of assessed value. At least that's what Republicans in the county administration and on the legislature maintain. Democrats pointed to half a dozen items, including suburban snow plowing and road salting, that are now being funded by user fees instead of directly by property tax revenues. The Democrats said the actual property tax rate would be $10.29 per thousand if those were called taxes instead of user fees, rather than being held level at $8.99, as Brooks says in her budget summary. Democrats tried to amend the budget twice, in one case to raise the amount the county pays for indigent burials, enough to cover the actual cost of cremation and burial for the poor. Both attempts were shot down by party line votes. The downtown Monroe Community College campus had strong support from MCC faculty, staff, and students during a public forum at the start of the legislature meeting. The vote to approve the agreement early Wednesday brought applause from those who waited to see the result. The question now is whether the new campus will be at the Kodak office site on State Street, which is where the MCC trustees want to put it and which they endorsed on Monday, or in the Center City, where City Hall would rather have it, possibly at Midtown. It's currently in the Sibley building on Main Street, but it has completely outgrown that facility and the available parking. The important thing, according to MCC President Ann Kress, is that MCC will finally have a downtown campus of its own. Another campus is changing hands. The Greece Central Board of Education reached agreement Tuesday night to sell the former Odyssey Academy building on Hoover Drive to Rochester businessman John Summers. The purchase price is $2.47 million for the 105,000 square foot building and just over 8.5 acres of land on the south side of Greece. Summers wasn't at the school board meeting, and District Attorney Kevin Overton said Greece Central hasn't been told what he wants to do with the property. It's currently zoned public land, which means any sort of development would need the town board to approve a zoning change. The Hoover Drive building was closed and the program moved to the former Apollo Middle School on Maiden Lane as part of the district's consolidation program this year. The former Barnard School on Stone Road and the Kirk Road School off Kirk Road are also up for sale. A number of suburban school districts held special elections on capital spending and other issues Tuesday. A summary of the winners and losers quickly. In Pittsford Central, voters approved two propositions. Prop 1, $35.6 million to repair and upgrade 9 school buildings, mostly to bring them into compliance with new building codes and other modern standards. The district said zero tax impact on residents because they'll use state aid and capital reserve funds to pay for this. A lot of this was new HVA systems, improved fire detection, and so forth. The margin of approval was better than 3-1. Proposition 2, a much closer margin, 1,946 yes, no, 1,132. This one covers physical education and athletic fields, a $7.6 million project, adding artificial turf, natural turf improvements, and an improved track for Mendon High School. Sutherland High gets stadium lights, which was the real source of controversy. Some people did not want them in their neighborhood. This one is funded by a combination of community fundraising and a 15-year tax increase of about $5 a year on an average district home. Moving to East Irondequoit Central, voters approved a bus replacement plan. It will keep the district's bus fleet up to date over the next 5 years. They also approved setting up a $15 million capital reserve fund, so eventually the district won't have to borrow for capital spending items. In Churchville-Chili, district voters approved a capital improvement project to correct safety problems at Chestnut Ridge and Churchville Elementary Schools. And in Hilton on the west side, taxpayers split on two items. They approved $19.5 million worth of capital improvements on district schools. As in Pittsford, these are covered by state aid and the district's capital reserve fund. District officials say they won't raise local property taxes. rejected a second proposition to establish a nearly $3 million capital reserve fund for future spending projects. A $1 million grant from Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield of Rochester will help a local healthcare center expand its services for the working poor while giving hands-on training to nursing students at the St. John Fisher College. The college will use the money to create the Fisher Prime Care Nursing Center at St. Joseph's Neighborhood Center on South Avenue in Rochester. The center is a ministry of the Sisters of St. Joseph. The new program will provide a new patient acute follow-up and primary care service for up to 60 patients on a weekly basis. And as part of the grant, healthcare outcomes will be measured and tracked for these patients to make sure they're keeping up with the care of chronic health conditions like diabetes. Got flu? Then scientists at the University of Rochester Medical Center want to study your particular strain of the virus. Yes, if you've got that hit by a truck and feverish feeling that can only mean the flu, or if you just have a cough, cold, or sore throat, researchers at the U of R Medical Center do want to study your viruses this winter. It's the fourth year that the URMC's infectious disease researchers are collecting blood samples and throat swabs from sufferers to learn more about seasonal flu viruses, how long they stay there, how long people are infectious, and how the disease spreads through households. They say they know it's inconvenient, but they'll pay you $25 to participate if you're qualified for the screening. That's $25 per visit to the hospital, and you'll have to make 4 visits throughout the month, so that's $100 total for taking part. To the left of this player window, you'll find links to these and other stories, and at the bottom of the page, links that you can use to post us news that you've heard about, items that you've written. We're a community news resource, so your wedding announcements, birth announcements, business openings are all important news to us. Next news is as it happens. Updates are when necessary. You can help us be the judge of that. I'm Bud Lowell, CNC News.